Join us as we traverse through time and space.
On another episode of whatever this is. Here we are in the Shaftsbury Center Cemetery, established in 1765, again on historic Route 7A in Vermont. We're now between Arlington and Bennington, and this is a beautiful example of, well, probably a James finished Zerubbabel, because of the year 1795. Zerubbabel was dead by then. Anyway, this one was probably done by Zerubbabel. Collins certainly has that apple chin, and the date works. The person died in 1784. The eldest son of Samuel Huntington. Oh. And the fifth daughter died in his infancy, 1791. Anyway, this is a great cemetery. You can see just how beautiful all the stones are. I mean, I just love them all. It's like trying to choose a favorite flower. They're just so beautiful. Anyway. Oh, relentless death. And Mrs. Amy Clark, consort of James Clark, finished a virtuous and exemplary life on the 17th of December, 1794, in the 49th year of her age. And Mrs. Sarah Branch died in August 1794 in the 41st year of her age. Oh, and then the sun on these are just make them pop and beautiful. Look at that. Look at that. And they're just so beautiful. One is as cool as the next. Now there's a guide that goes along with these numbers, and they're put on with magnets, which is pretty neat. I don't have the guide to tell you what it's all about, but pretty cool. If you come to Shaftsbury, you can take the guide for yourself and see what you can see. Look at that. Boy, that almost looks like it was freshly carved. Look how crisp. Huh. Another one. And another one. Look at that face. Oh my gosh, those eyes. Another very well carved. 1,000 groans this deer remains convey to his cold lodging a bed of clay. And then we have a different style altogether here. This is pretty neat. The heart. And they just go on and on and on. And then our friend Samuel Dwyer, I don't know, one of those two. Well represented here as well. Here's those hands, the heart. Miss Polly. Miss Polly, there she is. Pretty neat. And there's just several examples. There's another one over here. They're just so neat. Memento Mori. Zerubbabel Briggs, daughter of I don't know. And Eunice Briggs died 1799. 4 years old. Oh dear. Oh, I'm sorry. 6 years old and 4 months and 11 days. Here in the cold ground, my body, I'm not sure, in peace and hope. I don't know what all that says. Babies. They always make me sad. The little babies. Anyway, let's see what's down here. Well, this is a James Collins. Memento Mori. It's too bad it's so much mold on it there. I guess it's not mold, it's moss. And I'm not going to touch it. So we can transfer it to other stones, which is not a good idea. You get into these urn styles, early 1800s. You have, a little wee James up in the top. Death is a debt to nature due, which I have paid, and so must you. Yikes. Again, another James. Mary, wife of John Stanley. It is just a great cemetery. Let's go back up and see if we can find our friend Zerubbabel. He's up here by this rock. Somebody's giving me a hard time. Oh, I see who you are. It's a little plover, little killdeer over there. And they lay their eggs in rocky places. So this plover is telling me to stay away. And sometimes they'll even fake a broken wing and get you to follow them away from their babies. So, oh, there we go. That's another beauty. Look at that. An interesting shape. I'll watch where my feet are going. I don't want to upset this bird, and I don't want to step on any babies. There's another Samuel. Hands pointing in, the little birds. All right, I believe Zerubbabel's over here by this rock. And he doesn't have a stone like you would expect. He has a mourning style. Not how he carved. I don't know. Around here somewhere. Ooh. Now that's, I believe, Dwight Manning carved that. Look at that face. A mug on that. All right, well, this is interesting. This is in memory of Captain Daniel Clark of Plemfield in Connecticut, who fell in the Battle of Stillwater. And then there's a correction, September 19th, 1777. 40 years, a man greatly beloved and much lamented. So we're coming up on that battle. That's where I live, over in near Saratoga. and that would have been the Battle of Saratoga where he fell. Interesting. And is over here buried, and came from Connecticut. There's another style, very shallow carving. Makes it hard to read. But there it is. Another Zerubbabel. Jeremiah Clark, Esquire. Yeah, Zerubbabel's around here somewhere. He's not jumping out at me today, so we'll leave it at that. So there's a beautiful, beautiful cemetery to explore. Oh, relentless death. Oh, poor baby. 11 months and 6 days. Died in 1779. It's interesting when you go through these old cemeteries, either people lived a really long time and it's quite impressive, or they died very young. And what I like about old cemeteries is they tell you a little bit about the person that's there. It doesn't just give you a birth date and an end date. It gives you a little bit of, information. Who their parents were, where they may have come from. And these are neat because these are just simple and interesting motifs. And these probably came out of Samuel Dwight carving shop, because that looks like his shape. And then these look like Zerubbabel Collins shapes, who, especially that one in the back, it's a little double ears, I call it. Another baby. 2 months and 2 days, 1796. And again, as you go down the hill, you get some different motifs. These urn styles, the willows, mourning style, I suppose that's what it's called. There's always something more to see. You look one way and you're like, oh, what's that? You look another way, oh, what's that? Anyway, this is, if you like cemeteries, this one is definitely a good one to stop at. Lots to see. Great old stones. Interesting styles to be seen. And I don't know, this caught my eye here because apparently this, excuse me, a finial on top came off, and rather than, I guess, leave it on the ground, I tucked it right here. Anyway, this also has the hands up on top of the arch, which is neat. Ellie Shepherd and Irwin Hawkins, husband and wife. And another one with the same issue. Finial came off and they tucked it between. So who do we have here? This is Mary and Newman. They don't have the hands on top. Hawkins. I have a bit of destruction down here. I don't know if it's just the old styles or what. Zilpha, an interesting name. And then obviously they're still using the cemetery. It's still in use today. And getting to the newer stuff. And, oh, little Carrie Mae. 1 year. Little baby, 1873. Yeah, and you can't get away from any of these cemeteries without seeing an example of a seer stone. And there's several in here, because once you see them, you can't unsee them. And that's just the way it is. But this is one of my favorite cemeteries. Check it out. Route 7A in Vermont, north of Bennington, south of Arlington. Arlington, there's another really cool cemetery, lots of examples of Samuel Dwight, and also Charles Collins, who was a young carver. He's in there. He has a real classic look to his carving, and it's worth a stop there. And then there's several up and around the way, and you know, if you ever have a question, just look it up. Where are the old cemeteries? And they'll tell you. Vermont's really good with their information, and they can go online and you see county by county all the cemeteries. And look at that, it looks like it got hot glued. I don't know. Hopefully it's some kind of epoxy. Dear Father. Well, 96 years old, died in 1926. Wow, what Sarah Bates must have seen in her lifetime. Her husband died on my birthday. Well, not the same year. GoPro, stop recording.